Hello, viewers. Global Vibes invites you to yet another edition of the Thunder Bay community and its cultural extravaganza. My guest today is Sharon Bon. Sharon is the owner and founder of a dance studio with interest and expertise in Afro-Latin dance and fitness. I'm delighted to welcome you, Sharon, to the show, and we so much appreciate your time.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
We would love to hear about your passion and love for the two very distinct, unique, and very rich dance forms, African and Latin. How did it all begin? When did it begin? Where did it begin? Just curious to know all about your journey so far.
Well, I grew up in a Jamaican household. So I grew up listening to the sounds of Bob Marley. And I found out when I was younger that my grandfather was born in Cuba. So I have some Cuban roots there. And so there's a lot of, I guess I was sort of drawn to Kizomba because of my Jamaican roots. There's some similarities there, but I was first introduced to Kizomba by a friend that attended a studio in town. And so she got me to come to a class, and I just really loved the music. I guess the sound of the music kind of brought me back home because of my Jamaican roots. Right. And then I became interested in learning Kizomba. Mm-hmm. So just to give you some background on Kizomba, Kizomba is a dance from Angola. It's actually a dance and a form of music. Yeah. And Kizomba actually started during the Angolan crisis, which was in the 70s, when they were trying to get independence from their Portuguese colonizers. So a lot of the youth were just tired of the war. Most of the songs had to deal with war, and they just wanted to party. And Kizomba means to party in a Kibundu dialect from Angola. So, and in addition to that, in the 70s, there was this big fight called the Rumble in the Jungle in Zaire in Africa. And that's now called the Democratic Republic of Congo, I think is now the name of the country. But at the time, it was a big draw for people to attend this big event. And they also created a musical event around that fight as well. So that invited artists from all over the world to come to Africa. And that led to influences on the development of the Kizomba music. And so that was, one of the groups, the Alphania All-Stars were, they coined the term salsa. And so they were this Latin group. And so they brought Latin influence to Africa. And that played a role in the development of the Kizomba music.
So Kizomba is what we popularly know as Zumba?
No, Kizomba and Zumba are very different. So Kizomba is a dance from Angola, and Zumba is a fitness type of
of dance form. Yeah, fitness type of dance forms.
Yes.
So these two dance forms, like you've mentioned, they have deep history and roots, and they have been influencing one another, right?
Yes.
Because of its music and the steps and rhythm and everything.
So in the Latin American countries and the Caribbean, where salsa and bachata have originated, they were developed by the African slaves that were brought over from Africa. And so they brought their dance moves, their movements, their rhythms, and then that influenced the development of salsa and bachata.
Mm-hmm. So, thank you for sharing that. You know, they definitely have a lot of influence, one over the other. So
Yes.
you live in such a lovely world with, fascinating rhythm, movements, music. Must be
Yeah.
all very interesting. And so tell me a little bit about the salsa music. Is there any characteristic of the salsa music? The harmony, the lyrics, the chords, but they're so upbeat. They're so danceable.
Yes. Well, salsa music, a lot of these musics are is based on 8 counts, and so the salsa music is really defined by like the congos in the music, and that helps to get you to how you move to the music. And I mean, there's the piano, there's the horns, and the music was is influenced by African rhythms as well. Yes.
But salsa, which means also means sauce in Spanish, hot and
Yes, right.
spicy.
So yeah, so the term salsa came from the sauce, and so they wanted to show how spicy the music was, and that's how they came up with the term salsa for that type. For
And
that
you
type.
did mention the lyrics was is talking about love and party
Yes,
and
yes. Love is a major part of salsa music. Lost love, longing, or how much they love someone. That's a lot of the salsa music. So
so today's salsa is one of the most dynamic dance forms, and globally it's a very popular dance form. Is that what people ask you to teach most often? Salsa and Kizomba, or is there any one over the other?
well, salsa is the most well known. So when people ask to learn a dance, they ask to learn salsa. And in my opinion, salsa is one of the more difficult dances to learn. It's and so I think of the dance genres that I teach, bachata, which comes from the Dominican Republic, is probably the easiest one to learn. Um, and even
And
easier dance would be merengue, but I don't teach merengue. And merengue is a 2-step type of dance, also popular in Dominican Republic. That's where it's originated, and
and
so
you have learned your dance. You've learned all of these dance forms here in Thunder Bay.
yes, believe it or not.
Ah!
So I'm originally from Toronto, and I
Yes.
had nothing to do with dance in Toronto. I grew up dancing on my own. I mean, I always loved to dance. I danced around the house to the reggae sounds that my parents would always be playing. And it wasn't until I came to Thunder Bay that I got introduced to Kizomba and the other Latin dances here. So yes, Toronto and Montreal are very big dance centers in
Centers.
Canada,
Okay.
and I think Montreal is probably Kizomba capital of Canada, with Toronto a close second. Um,
Wow.
so so the fact that I was living in Toronto and never never encountered kizomba or salsa or bachata, it took for me to come to Thunder Bay to be introduced to that.
And
So
aren't we glad, Sharon, you brought it here for us? So you have earned a PhD in nutritional sciences from the University of Toronto,
yes.
and you have beautifully and creatively integrated two of your very big passions, your interest, fitness and dancing. How did that happen? How did you make that happen?
Well, I guess to start, I should say that I wasn't looking for dance. Dance found me. And
Oh,
so so that was how I first got into dance, by being introduced to it. And then I fell in love with it. And my nutrition background sort of came after when the dance studio that I was attending here closed, and I really missed teaching, and I wanted to start up another studio on my own, and I felt that fitness had to be an integral part of my studio because it's an important part of health, and
right.
dance is good for health. So I thought it was a good fit to have both. and I became
dancing.
certified in Zumba. And I thought Zumba was a good fit because of it's a Latin-based fitness, and with other world rhythms, there are also African moves that you could do in Zumba as well. So I thought it was a good fit for my dance. Yeah.
So dancing, it does provide that physical as well as the mental health benefits. So this was a perfect fit.
Yes.
So COVID pandemic did not dampen your spirit for dancing. You adapted.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
So I came up with the idea to start my dance studio in January of 2020. And I started looking for a physical space. And I did hear about this virus circulating in China. Didn't think that it would really impact me in Thunder Bay. And so I started looking for a physical space. I had originally planned to open in April. And looking for a space in Thunder Bay was very difficult, trying to find an affordable space. And I thought I found one in the downtown Port Arthur and actually made an offer. But it needed to be renovated. And so I knew I wouldn't be able to start till September. So I had put that as my goal to start in my physical space. And I put an offer to lease, but they rejected it because they wanted the space that for me to rent to be a lot bigger than I wanted to have. So, and then a week later, the pandemic hit Canada and everything shut down. So I was like, wow, I dodged a bullet there. So I had to transition my thinking of having an in-person studio to a virtual one. So I started doing work on learning how to do the proper setup for a virtual studio. So taking courses on how to teach virtually, because it's very different than—
It is a challenge. Yeah, it is a challenge. It's a challenge. Yeah, great. Good for you. Good for you. So over time, you've got opportunities to share the Afro-Latin dance forms with the community through various platforms or events or festivals.
Yes. So when I was part of the other dance studio in Thunder Bay, we did a lot of performances.
Right.
So we did performances for CAMAT, which is the Caribbean and African Multicultural Association of Thunder Bay. They have the Black History Month Gala. Right. And so we were invited to do a performance there one year. We've done performances at the Folklore Festival, for Canada Day, also for the Thunder Bay Medical Society, the Thunder Bay Dental Association, and yeah, so in a variety of places, we've
good for you.
Performances.
Good for you.
Yes.
And Sharon, you also have been writing blogs to inform us about the historical context of these dance forms. Tell us a little about that.
So I thought it was very important for people who are learning the African and Latin dance to have an idea of the history of the dance, because that gives you a better appreciation of the dance and the music. So I started writing blogs about Kizomba, bachata, salsa, the benefits of dance, just so that people have more awareness of where these dances come from and can appreciate the dance when they're doing it. Yes.
Yeah. And is there any special kind of attire or footwear that you have to adorn when you're doing salsa or kizomba?
Well, when you're dancing, it's most important that you are comfortable when you're dancing. Mm-hmm. So just dressing comfortably is perfect for me. I wear dance heels, and dance shoes are, what's great about them is that they're very flexible, so you don't tire as easily when you're dancing with them. And my dance heels are 3 inches. Ooh. And they're very comfortable. People might not think it is, but they are. But you can get dance shoes in any size heel if you want to wear heels. I have stilettos, they have wider heels, or you can get dance sneakers. And the importance of dance shoes is that they allow you to turn more easily. So when you're doing the dancing, it's just easier to do the movements when you have the proper footwear. But that doesn't mean that you need to go out and buy dance shoes to dance. As long as the footwear is comfortable for you, and as long as you can turn easily with the footwear, that's what's important.
Yeah, the key word is being comfortable. It's to enjoy. Yeah? It's also to enjoy the dance form.
That's right. We're here to enjoy dancing. We're not in competitions. We're not
we're dancing for ourselves.
Yes, we're dancing for us. Exactly.
And I wish you all the very best on behalf of our viewers. Wish you all the very best for all the future endeavors in advancing the Afro-Latin dance forms in our community. So thank you for doing that, Sharon. Thanks a lot for bringing that to us.
Thank you.